What's
and we're
good?
actually
What's
talking.
good?
Yeah, man. Now look, I saw this thing that really made me scratch my temple, man. And I've seen a lot of this stuff in the past few years, especially in the woke area, and I put that in quotations, right?
Hmm.
Um, but this one made me kind of cringe, and I really wanted to talk to you about it and see what you thought. Apparently, elementary school started a gay club, right? A homosexual club. And their premise is where boys can love boys and girls can love girls. And this is an elementary school. And if that's not bad enough, in my opinion, they didn't even tell the parents, right? And once the parents found out, then of course they went to the school board and they went to I think the city board or whatever, you know what I mean, city meetings or something like that. My question is, I got a lot of them, and I'm trying to walk a good thin line here because it kind of makes me mad. And you're a parent, right? Now I said I'm a stepfather or have been a stepfather, but people tell me that how long I raised and how close we are. I'm a dad, and I consider myself her dad. You feel me? So it bothers me to the very core of me that you're doing this and you're doing it like you're trying to hide your hand or like you're trying to exclude me from the knowledge that you're giving to my daughter, right? So I'm gonna ask you before I get enraged and get on my tirade. How do you feel about it?
I don't think that curriculum should be taught in public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, simple as that. I don't want my children to learn that. You know. I think children should learn ABCs and language arts and history and mathematics. I think the purpose of school is to learn ABCs, language arts, history, and mathematics.
You
And that's
basically
just the
saying the
bottom line.
fundamentals of life.
That's the bottom line. It's nothing more to it. It's nothing I can expound on for 6 hours. It's just school is for ABCs, language arts, mathematics, history. Uh, what grown-ups do in their bedroom and who grown-ups decide to love is for that child to decide when they turn into a grown-up. Those grown-up conversations, adult conversations. But that's just my opinion. What do I know?
You know a lot, brother. You know a lot. Don't even play yourself slow. Because watch this. I agree with you 100%. When we went to school, that was that. It was a fundamental. It was social studies, science, math, English. Uh, you know, and even then when you had extra classes, right? These were like AP classes that just expanded. You know, went higher on math, deeper into science, deeper. You feel me? Even the after school clubs, chess club, math club, debate club. These were things that expounded on education, right?
Correct.
You
Correct.
might have for things that you like to do, it might be sports. You know what I'm saying? It might be Spanish club. You know what I mean? But it's still based in an education like Spanish club would be something that, you know, would be something that still grows in education rounds or bounds. You follow me? So when you start to do it like this, it feels like first of all, imagine if this was high school. The things that we're talking about, math club, English club, chess club, all that shit, you usually hear about that shit in high school. The thing that kills me, bro, is elementary school, bro. This elementary school. So here's my here's my question to you. What is too young to even I know how you feel, but this is a question. So let's separate the personal from the factual, or as much as possible, right? What's too young, in your opinion, to be taught about, you know, LGBTQ, homosexual, whatever stuff? If you should even be taught about it, that's another question. Should you even be taught about that? But what's too young if you do agree that maybe somebody should talk to you about that?
I believe as long as you're in school,
Mhm,
you should only learn about ABCs, language arts, mathematics, history. School
mhm.
is for teaching academics and fundamentals. So I
Hmm.
can't give you an age range. I can't say 13. I can't say 16 because I believe school is for ABCs, language arts,
Hmm.
mathematics, science, and history. Feel me?
I absolutely agree with you. But
Yeah,
and listen, you know my personal stance on it. You know what I really, really believe. But just for the sake of everybody involved, I'm gonna look at both sides of the coin, right?
yeah,
If there was a need, which hey, look, you know, there are people out here that are who they are, whatever, right? So I would say if there was a need like that, or we needed to do something like that, that would be in high school at the very least, right? You know what I'm saying, or the very most, right? When
yeah.
they're not old enough, because even in high school you could be a stupid motherfucker. You ain't grown, but you feel like you're grown. But if that's where you at with it in life, okay, cool. And maybe there's a club for you. But even then, it shouldn't be because even when they had like, let's say you went to go play sports, there's a letter that's get sent home that your parents need to sign off on in case you get hurt. Your parents know you're about to go play football. They have to be involved. They got to get the cleats. They got to help you buy you know what I'm saying? There's shit that they have to be involved with. When here's the biggest thing: when they keep the parents out of the loop, when they don't tell, because that's even worse than just the club itself. That's even worse than even the elementary school. When they keep the parents out of it, it almost feels like you did wrong. You
Yep,
feel me?
I
Like I
agree.
don't tell your parents because in how they flip it is like we're creating a safe space for you to grow and like that. So you don't if you feel some kind of way, you don't have to tell your parents and we won't say nothing either. But they don't do that if you're suicidal. No, it's big. Like if they know you have suicidal tendencies or something, they want to conference with everybody. But with the gay thing, they act like, okay, no, 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 no. We want to create a safe space for you. And it feels like we're trying to remove the parent guidance. We're trying to keep you out the loop. And now this is where the people would who talk about agendas, right? Because if I want the parents not involved, I don't want any blockage between me and your child. Emphasis on your child. Now I want complete control. Now the state wants to be the parents, right? If we believe what we believe, like you should just learn curriculum, a general curriculum, English, spelling, blah, 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 right? These things that you're going to probably need to apply in growth in life to, be able to get through life. Where does the homosexual aspect come into it? Where, you know what that sounds like? I'm trying to infect the youth so that way I can affect the future. You did what I'm saying? If
I
I can
agree.
plant the seed here, I can watch it grow where now the future's changed. You feel me to what I want it to be, right? And if I keep the parent out, the parents can't stop it, right? Like if I'm home and I'm teaching my child and we going every day, we going to Sunday church, back in the day, we had Wednesday Bible study and you feel what I'm saying? Like it was real. You feel me? Especially in a lot of black households or Pentecostal or Baptist or you know what I'm talking about? It
Yep.
was real. So to counteract that, we tell the kid, hey, we want to create a safe space for you. We don't want you to be rejected. We don't want you to feel isolated. We don't want you. We accept you. Forget your parents. Right? You feel me? We show you
Yeah.
films on how parents can react to you if you tell them something they don't like. We show them. You feel me? And it's like almost fear, like the news. You know when back in the day when we said the news would pump fear in people where they don't even want to go outside because that was it's real. You know what I mean? Now we make you scared to tell your parents. We make you scared to reveal this at home. We make you scared to believe in your family. We make you feel like the trans thing that's going on is normal. And you should come and talk to us. And we'll be there for you. And we'll create a club for you. And forget your parents. We don't even need to give them permission slip. You need a permission slip for everything. You can even go on field trips without a permission slip. You can't even go to field days sometimes without a permission slip because you could possibly get hurt. Like this is real stuff. But when we're talking about sucking dick and pumping booty hole, yeah, you don't gotta worry about that. Just come on to the club. It's a
Yeah.
safe space. It sounds like you have an agenda at hand. It sounds like you're trying to push something. It sounds like you don't want no interference on what it is you're trying to apply to our children. And then when we go to the, because you see, and you're gonna see this in editing, you'll see where they went to complain about this. And I've seen other things where they started talking about some of the books that they have in the children's library, right? Talking explicit shit, right? In a cartoon manner, normalizing. You feel me? Normalizing what should be a shock, right? Because we innately know what's out of order. But when you normalize what's out of order, it doesn't feel like it's out of order no more. Even if it feels deep down like it's out of order, you tell yourself, right? When you see cartoons that are normalizing the two same gender families, you feel me? When you see transgenders reading to kids at the libraries, like, why the fuck is a transgender person in full drag coming and reading children's books? The only logical thing I could say is not to show that we all can read, is to normalize the image of this thing. You're not scared of it no more. It's not out of the pocket. It doesn't seem weird. It seems like a familiar face. That's no different than reading Rainbow and Big Bird and Lamb Chop. Oh, it's just a dude in a dress with makeup, and hey, they're just fun. Why would you need to have a transgender drag show for families? Like, I know you've heard of this shit. What they, and you'll see pictures of them literally with little kids sitting down, and this dude is doing all the doing the show, doing the show. I thought we all knew that this was a sexual thing. This is like having family day at a strip club. Literally, because that's drag things is literally just transgender strip club, right?
You
Tell me
right.
I'm wrong.
No, you
So
right.
like Magic City having family day. Bring your kids and see me booty shaking, twerking shit, and we also read books on after every song. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of logically is you want to normalize this. You don't want you because you want to wear off the shock value. You want people to be comfortable with this, and you attack the youth because they're pliable. You can tell them anything, and they'll believe it. And by the time they get to the age of where they're rational, it's been so embedded into them that it's not even they don't even question it, even if they feel weird about it, even if you come with logic to it. No, 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 you're wrong. No, that's hate, it's hate speech to say that this is weird, wrong, awkward, bad. Nah, that's indoctrination.
You right.
Even Disney has it in movies and shows and cartoons. And so here's my question to you before I kind of get up out of here. Or let me ask you, should I keep going? I'm kind of at 13 minutes. We should keep flowing.
Yeah, I got 6% on my phone, but we gonna rock out.
So here's my when you run out, you want me to? I'll just cut it then. How about that? So
Yeah.
here's my question: if you agree with me, and I think some people do, I think people do. You know what I mean? They try to. You were talking to me about shadow ban. I think they try to shadow ban people. You know, on media, in person, social media, that speak out about these things, but they're out there.
Yep.
What do we do to counteract it, or is there anything we can do?
Nothing we can do. Just we gotta teach our own kids the truth.
Right. But you know what? It's hard to do when you don't know what it is you're fighting against. Because
Yeah.
let's say we think, and we have no reason to think that they got some gay club in there, because this is the premise of the whole thing. They had this gay club in there, which, first of all, what kid at an elementary school age is even knowing or thinking about sex? Because when you break down LGBTQ, not even all the alphabet, weird shit that you can just create, but L, lesbian, girls who like girls, who like having sex with girls, who are attracted to girls, gay, guys who like guys, bi, people who like both. T is the trans. But you feel me? And that's where it started to get confusing. But originally, it was like the homosexual community was people in who sexually were attracted to the same sex, right?
Yeah.
How does this apply to kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, even? Unless you have been exposed to it somewhere along the way, which I would
Exactly.
think be a sign that somebody should intervene, right? That's usually how that would go. Oh, your kid is acting sexual or talking about some sexual shit. Maybe we need to send somebody by the house.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would make a club for this shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got somebody in the comments. What you saying?
It said, should children be taught in public school to accept or understand a practicing practicing sinner or taught to understand to accept sin as a choice to accept or resist it? I'm gonna read it one more time so I can try to answer this properly. Should children be taught in public school to attempt or understand a practicing sinner or taught to understand? Okay, so I think what they're trying to say is talk about the acceptance, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's probably the ideology of the people that me and you, or people like us, would consider indoctrination, right? So they would say that we're not indoctrinating; we're trying to create an environment where we're teaching acceptance, separate the saved from the unsaved.
Yeah. I think he
So
what he said.
maybe they are understanding what we're saying. But I'll just address it like this, if you don't mind, T. You want me to go
Yeah.
ahead?
Keep going. Keep going.
I feel like some people will look at it like we're trying to create a culture. Like these are the people that maybe support the clubs and the teachers doing what they're doing. They're trying to
Yeah.
create a culture that acceptance is common, right? And
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show both sides of the coin. Watch this. Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard for the gay boy. Yeah, I understand that it can be a tough road for the lesbian or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Uh, even the real trans, and when I say real trans, I mean the person that has real body dysmorphia, not the trendy trans. You know what I'm saying? That just flow with whatever, right? But I'm talking about those people that really feel like that really have a mental illness, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what it is, and really feel like they're a girl instead of a guy, and they want to go through that whole situation, right? I
Yeah.
know it can be hard, but I feel like first, school is not the place to figure that out. That's a
Exactly.
home situation. That's a family situation. Hell, that's a psychiatrist or counseling or a peer group outside of school situation. That's not where school's supposed to come in and try to guide you through that practice. You feel me? I can
Yeah.
understand why and see, this is why you got to even vet teachers, because a lot of the people that's doing the indoctrination are some of these people that's part of the community. You feel me? So they're pushing their own beliefs. They're trying to create their own future to escape their own trauma when they were a child.
Yeah.
You follow me? They
Yep.
don't want. They trying to, and I get it because everybody wants to affect the future. You follow me? They want to make
Yeah.
change, but and it's perceptional. It's like, how do you see the world, and what version of the world you want to create? That's why it has to be a strict curriculum and boundaries in the school. You feel me? You want to do all that shit? Then go march after you clock out. You follow me?
I
You wanna stand
follow.
for something? Okay, do that after you leave. But in these hours from what 8 to 4, nigga, teach math, teach science, teach social studies,
Exactly.
do that shit, and then do what you do. Right?
Right. I
You're
agree.
not-
And look,
Yeah,
I got a story for you, right?
go ahead.
I ain't gonna be too long, but I was a school crossing guard for an elementary school. I think like 2019, 2018, something like that.
Hmm.
And my landlord, where I lived at the time, was a male, a gay male. You feel me?
Hmm.
He was my landlord. So he was cool people though. He never disrespected me. I never disrespected him. hey, I needed some place to stay during an emergency. He had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is when I found out the world was changing. This is 2018, 2019.
Mm,
There was two fifth graders, and they was always running. The school let them out. The school let them out earlier, right?
yeah.
The school let them out earlier so they could run from the bullies, get a head start on running from the bullies. They was boyfriend and boyfriend. They actually was in a relationship, and everyone knew about it. That's when the world opened up to me, and I brought the situation up to my landlord, who was gay himself, and I got drunk and brought it up to him. I wouldn't have brought it up to him at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Come to find out, he was mad.
See, boy, I'm gonna tell you some. That's yeah. There's people that even in their community, you feel me, that feel the same way. That's how you know it's real.
He was
There's,
madder than me.
because they know that there's a difference between right and wrong and doing what you do. Shout out to Safety First 104. We see you, homie. And the comment they said, I think morality should be taught at home. And if you are spiritual, it should be taught wherever you worship. Also, you have to fight all those evil spirits. That part, that last part, you know how I feel. 100. I think that is what this is. I even believe in spiritual transforming, but that's a whole other subject for a whole other time. You feel me? But that's real stuff. But
Oh,
yeah, there are people that really feel like that. There's gay people that really feel the same way we feel. And they're not saying they're going against their community. They're just
yeah,
saying, why they're saying logical shit. Why have a drag show with kids at it? Why are we trying to tell kids what the fuck? Why are you keeping the parents out? You feel me? Here's a real good
yeah.
question. If
Pumper
if
27. I agree with you. No, 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 no,
you
no.
Destiny Child, except with they know yes, yes, yes coming back. You feel me?
Hey,
Now,
make sure y'all hit that like button, man. It helps this world get around. Hit that like button. The like button is very
yeah.
important. Please hit that thumbs up. Pumper 27, hit that thumbs up, man. That's how the videos get to
And you
circulate.
know what? While we got y'all unengaged, I would love to hear what y'all all think about this one. If if you would take religion out of school, right? Prayer out of school. What makes you think it's all right to put LGBTQ stuff into school? You feel me? Where is the logic in that? One one was supposed to be we're separating religion from state, state from religion. But now it's okay to put your own sexual beliefs into school, into
If
books.
if my son come home and I ask him what he learned today, he told me he learned about gay relationships.
Don't
I'm
tell the
bringing.
truth. You know how I already know how we mobbing. So don't tell the truth. Tell the
Uh,
tell the PG-13 version.
I'm glad you said that. Because I was about to say, after I get done beating his ass, I'm gonna go to school, beat the principal ass, and then beat the motherfucking teacher ass who teaching this shit. But nah, I'll pull him out that school though, for sure.
Real talk. And this is one of those things where I feel like private schools, if should make it a little bit more affordable. You know what I'm saying? For regular people as well, because if they're religious based, especially, they should see what's going on, and there's gonna be people like that. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, hell no, get this. You feel me? And it's fucked up because normal people don't always have the finances to do private school. So you almost don't have the choice. And the way schools are set up, you sometimes can't leave your district. You feel me? Or put them in a different school. You got to go to the one that's right there. And so if you're trapped by your address, what the fuck do you do? There's homeschooling, I guess. But then you take them for, like, let's say you got a son that's good at basketball. Well, you know what? Hold up. I'm hearing the answers as I'm saying. Because if he's good at basketball, AAU, I don't know what they got for football, but there's avenues for that too. There's avenues for track. There's other options. But I know specifically about basketball, AAU is a great scouting arena, but it does limit things. It does limit social interactions that things that you learn by just being out in the world, being at the school, being around these things. But you're left with smaller options because you're trying to protect your kids from, let's call it what it is, the devil. You feel me? Like, because if it's not wrong, I should be able to tell you directly, Mr. T, we're about to tell your son about homosexuality, blah 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 blah. Back in the day, they even had to tell our parents about when the health class was about to get into sex education. They had to
Yeah,
tell their parents about that just to talk about condoms and penis and vagina.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
What
it
would you
meant,
do if your son comes home and say,
man,
"Daddy, they taught me."
listen, bro. On some real shit, there's two answers. I'm gonna give you the PG-13 version, but just imagine it was all the way where it need to be. I'm gonna have to have a very serious conversation about the people that are allowing this type of shit and trying to keep me out of my son's life and backdooring me. And I know I have anger issues, so you know me, so you already know how this conversation gonna go. It's not gonna go shaking hands and be sit there. It's gonna be because you're doing this. You're backdooring me, dog, and you're playing
Yeah,
with my and you know you're wrong. Otherwise, you would have sent something home to me and created an option where my son could have opted out. You
that's
feel
how.
me?
That's where I agree with. I don't mean to interrupt you, but now, if they did that, hey, parents, we have these options. Check
Right.
the first box for yes, the second box for no, third box for hell the fuck no. I'm taking him to a different school. Now I don't have a problem with that. As
Yeah.
long as you make sure my kids is not hearing nothing about that,
That's how somebody could compromise. You want to push your agenda? Cool. But don't force my
don't
child
force it.
to be involved. Give them the
Let
option.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Let the kids live. Let the kids live to do their ABCs, language arts,
Right.
mathematics. They don't need to be shit. If that's the case, shit. If we teaching that, what's stopping us from teaching about the other stuff? How to join the gang and what
Right.
and
This life
make
is
sure they know how
acceptance,
to
right?
work a gun.
It's acceptance, right? We trying to teach acceptance, right?
Make sure they know. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they gotta make sure they know how to work a gun. So let's give them guns
Right.
now, just in
Why
case
don't
some
we
shit
teach
pop off.
class and home economics how to cook crack? It's on the stove.
Might as well. We might as well.
Ingredients, nigga.
And, and not just the low grade crack, the crack that what's her name had from the West Coast. I'm talking. I'm
Well, how
talking.
about this? How about this? You know the big fine shit? Let's go and teach you how to make your tina. Go ahead. I can tell you how to make some crystal meth out of the
You
stuff.
see what I'm saying?
You want to make it a scientific experiment?
Yeah,
Right? But there's limits to what they want you to do.
yeah.
An agenda. If it was about broadness, about, oh, we just want to open up everything, it would be something crazy like that. But it's not. It's specific to the things that matter to the people that are pushing you. You feel me? That's why you even have to know who's teaching your kids, who's teaching your children, what's going on in that city, what's going on. Like, that's for real. Parents also have a
What's,
responsibility. They have.
what's
You
crazy is they skipped over. Let's teach these kids how to do their taxes. Because as a grown man, I had to teach myself how to do my taxes properly.
so bad.
So
That's
y'all skipped over the taxes to teach them LGBTQ.
well, my nigga. They ain't even supposed to be talking about that in elementary school. Like, who's teaching kids how to do taxes? But I guess it's okay to teach them about loving boys.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. That's why I said what I said. You
And
feel
now
me?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, my my nigga, for real. Now look, I'm gonna ask you because we can keep going, but I have a lot of work to do. Do you want to continue the flow on this topic? Is there anything
Yeah,
else
let's
that
keep it
you
going.
about?
Let's keep it going for like 5 more minutes.
Cool. So I saw some stuff in Florida where, and this is where they were talking about even the books, right? And this is the sneaky stuff because, and I'm gonna correlate it to this. You remember, and I know this is even before our time, but there was an epidemic where in Halloween you had to check your kids' candy because people would put razor blades in them. People
Yep,
would kind of messed up stuff, right? So it
yep,
became you had to check the kids' candy before you let them eat, 'em, right?
right.
Because you can disguise something and kids will just digest it, right? Because the question is, why do you think they're going after the youth? And I have my answer. I know why. You know, and I said it earlier, they're pliable. They're pliable. Kids are
Yeah.
sponges. They soak up everything they see. They soak up everything they hear. They embody it. I had to tell my little girl because she was taking pictures like right, and she took a picture with me, and I said, "Hey, no, no, delete that picture." And I had to grab her like, "Don't you do that?" Because they don't even know that this ain't true. That's a sexual thing. You sticking your tongue out, all men know what that's supposed to mean. That's almost like that's basically saying, "Come fuck my face, nut on my tongue." That
Yeah.
I'm like, ah, you right? But because
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion does it, and it's like, ah, why you what? You think that she's just making funny faces? Nah, she's not doing that. That's a sexual thing. That's a sexual thing.
Yeah.
And you're indoctrinating people to normalize this shit that even kids are doing it. And they don't even know what that means. They just think it's just how it's supposed to be. They just think it's cute and funny because
Yeah.
nobody's telling them this is fucked up shit. They,
Yeah.
uh, they say they make twerking, and we've all been to the clubs. Hell, we even been to the teenage clubs where it was even worse, nigga. You feel me?
Yeah.
And twerking was never like, oh, I'm just popping my booty to have a foot time. Yeah, me and my girl. No, bitch. You know what you they would be grinding so hard, they trying to make the dick bounce.
Yeah.
Real shit. Talking, I'm talking real stuff. They're literally they're for real. Right? And if you've been to the you know, hell, we start over to the corner on some shit. You know what's going on. So how all of a sudden that twerking, which we used to call this booty shaking, you know what I'm saying? Shaking that ass become just a normal part of dance. It's just art. Hey, oh, it's just art. It's just bouncing my booty.
Yeah.
Now we got to do documentaries on strip clubs and it's educational. Nah, bitch. Nah, bitch. You ain't shaking that ass. You ain't smutting out. You ain't doing what you do. And this is what it is. And it's a mating call. If we're gonna be real with you, it's a mating call. I'm
Yeah.
not that. You come over, you're attracted to it. And back in our day, this is how we called it the ugly test. When that girl looked back at you, if she kept shaking, you were good. If she didn't, and you felt like an ugly nigga. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't fucking with you. Am I
Yeah.
bullshitting?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But it's a mating call. It ain't nothing. This is artistic, yeah. No, no, nigga. This is thought behavior. But we normalize it. So the shock value don't even hit us the same. Now we don't even hit the kids the same. And the kids think this is how you supposed to do. You thought it was bad when they had to monitor our school dances and shit? No, they ain't no. It's worse now.
Yeah.
I thought we were bad. I ain't even gonna front to you. Because we were.
Yeah.
But it's even worse. You feel me?
And that shit didn't lead to the creepy, scary shit though that they got going on.
What could be scary shit?
Like even back in our days, it was my bad, John. I'm getting out the car. I had to go to the car to charge my phone real quick a little bit. But
Yeah, they just spoke about
when we
that.
was in
In the dark.
school,
Yeah, my brother was on
yeah,
the move, getting you
shit that
packed,
we did,
but I appreciate you hollering at us.
yeah, the shit that we did, we had fun, but it didn't make people want to change their whole gender and be with the same gender and all type of shit. You know?
Mhm. Now I will say this. This is a neutral thing right here. Lust is lust. And you know I'm a spiritual dude, so I hope I don't isolate nobody on this one. But like when you normalize lust, my mama used to say this, you feel me? Because you feel me? Lust comes right. That's why discipline needs to be applied. You feel me? So you can create a domino effect of certain things. You feel me? Where we didn't we rebelled and didn't want to and people try to normalize some of those bad behaviors. You feel me? And create
Yeah,
patterns like being Remember, we all remember that car starting to do shit. What? Stop. You feel me?
Yeah,
So we normalized some things back then that we shouldn't have. And so I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. The premise of this whole thing is to say, why affect the youth with your with your beliefs? Why is the school the platform for it? Why are you trying to backdoor the parents? Why are you trying to keep the parents out? You know you're doing something wrong. You're going to
hey,
the youth because you have a better chance of
this
affecting
this is
the.
what they're doing, right? This is the agenda.
Mhm.
They want to get who would be strong men willing to fight against the government when they get older. They catch them when they're youth to dumb them down, put shit in the food to make them soft. They teach them about gays. Hopefully, they'll turn into a gay and be flamboyant. So when that time comes to fight, they don't have that fight in them. They were too worried about chopping their dicks off and being flamboyant. So when it's time to fight, you won't have a real man in that fight.
Why do you? First of all, two things. Auto war. You to take over society. You get rid of the man first. You got to get rid of the men as quick as you can, even the young men, because they're the ones that's gonna be the resistance, right? So without masculine men, there is no resistance. Why do you think the other agenda? And I said this earlier. Almost every movie or show you see currently going on that has a gay dude is a black, flamboyant gay dude. All the masculine men. Why do you think at one point in time it was all about the strong black man? Million Man March, strong black man. Now, yes, there can be lines where it's toxic masculinity, but it's funny that it seems like organically women even are drawn to this strength. All this have this sensitive, soft, don't even that motherfucker. They don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
yeah.
When those girls who do these marriages, like they married the gay dude, and man, they come. We all know it. They come fuck the dude that's like, bitch. You feel me? Now, here's accountability for the black man or the masculine man, because I know some strong white dudes too, right? Discipline is key across the board for everybody. We all need it. We all need it. We all can't be just given and driven by our lust, our sex. No, there's accountability, and like I said to you earlier, we as men don't have the luxury to bullshit ourselves and make excuses. We got to do the right thing. So we need to be in the household. Even though they made the agenda where women get more benefits by keeping us out, we need to be in the household. We need to take reins of this shit. But you
Mm-hmm.
talking about the government trying to attack the children at an early age to give them the heads up advantage to get what they want to imply. Because if you do that and you catch the kid at school and you keep the children out, you know that is almost sending a spy into your home, right? People sending a
Mm-hmm.
cell into your home to counterbalance your belief systems that you're teaching your child. You feel me? So now your child comes in and rebels. Now your child comes in and thinks that the school is the safe space. You are safe space. They're looking at you as if you're the bad guy. You feel me? They're
Mm-hmm.
rebelling, doing all that weird shit. You feel me? And you're wondering why. And you just keep sending them right back to the devil to get fed with that bullshit. And all they're allowed to take home because they don't even tell you what's going on is the homework. So you're not even seeing no permission slip, no thing of telling them about the special clubs they got going on. You have to find out secondhand. When you find out secondhand, now they try to paint it like you're just some outraged, crazy parent. And it's like, no, bitch, you keep trying to parent my child that's not your child, trying to fill their head with your belief system, and that's not your job. Your job is to teach them ABCs 1, 2, 3. Then send them home to me, and I teach them about spirituality. I teach them morality. I teach them guidance. I walk them to God. Whatever my path is in life, that's my job there. That is not your job there. You feel me?
I feel you.
And we have that mixed up. And we cannot be scared to take a stance and say, fuck that bullshit. We cannot be scared of the consequences of you look like this. You ain't. I don't give a fuck if I look homophobic at all, nigga. You're lucky because truth is, phobic means I'm scared. I am not scared, and I'm gonna show you how prepared I am and how non-scared I am. But you feel me? And I don't want to cross the
Mm.
line something that's gonna make this situation ugly, right? Love everybody, love the sinner, hate the sin. You feel me? But do not mess with a person's child. Do not try to indoctrinate them with your belief system. Come do your fucking job and then go the fuck home and then do your weird shit there. You feel me? And that's
I
that.
feel you to
My
the
kids,
max.
they don't even need to know your personal life. If you marry
Yeah,
the same gender, they don't even need to know that. If they ask you, are you married? Yes, I'm married. Then it should end there, right? Because what the fuck they got to do with math? Except for one plus one equals two. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And that's real shit. Now, I hate to do this, but we have 41 minutes, and I appreciate everybody coming out and showing love, man. But I'm gonna go ahead,
Appreciate y'all.
man. And do you know why this is happening? Let me answer that real quick because I said it earlier. I
2%.
really believe I really do believe it's an agenda to change the direction of the future, and you have to attack the masculinity that is a against it. You have to attack the core. It's called psychological warfare. You have to do that because you can't beat it physically. You have to attack the inside, and when you go and attack the youth, they're easier to indoctrinate, and they become sleeper cells for your agenda. So while they're being taught one thing at home, they are already living another. And when with a sleeper cell, you don't even know when they're going to be activated. They're in there, and they rebel. And then they take their ideology onto college, which is another level of indoctrination. And then they
Yeah.
go through. You feel me? I hope I answered your question, man. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. T, you want to say anything before we go?
Your phone on 2%. Let's try to answer that question. He
Which
said,
one?
let me ask you one question. Do you vote? I don't vote.
I do vote, but not all the time. To be real with you, and I don't vote on all the levels that I should. To be honest with you, and a lot of people that's the problem. But I really believe that it starts in the home. I really believe it starts in the community. I really believe it starts in the circles that you allow yourself to be in because birds of a feather flock together. But I also understand what you mean that you can't affect change if you don't vote for the change. You feel me? So I get it. If that's your point, but that's my answer. I
Yeah,
do.
that's it for me. 1%.
All right, 100, man. I'm gonna catch you next time. Catch y'all cool kids at the cool table next time. Deuces.
Appreciate y'all.